Hello, we're doing
Hello.
another podcast continuing the rapid erosion of our mystique as artists.
Huh?
Just eroding the walls between us and the audience, constantly breaking down the barriers between us and them.
Yes.
Preventing us from making anything interesting, because I think all interesting art contains a whole bunch of lies, but we can't lie because we talk to these cunts for 2 hours every single week.
You do lie. You say you have trans friends in the show.
I do have trans friends.
You do, yeah.
They're nice.
I'm sure I'm from Egypt. But look.
Now, look, what I will say is I would like to live in the past. I've been reading this Rick Rubin book about creativity and things such as this. And it's just so like, yeah, wouldn't that be great? You know, like
what?
He's there going like, oh yeah, but like don't give too much of yourself away to the audience. There needs to be a mystique around artists and artistry and blah blah blah. Let me make sure we're at the right fucking mics levels are a little bit low.
Yes.
And then you're just like, right, but to make any money as a comedian now, you just have to do this, don't you?
Yeah, but like I like doing it.
And it is good fun, obviously, and we love and adore every single one of you, but like...
I'm in love with every one of you.
Every one of them?
In a romantic sense, yes.
Those people that are
I'm
listening and watching?
Yeah.
You're deeply, romantically in love with them.
That's right, every last one of them.
I'd like them to fuck off once in a while.
Why?
Do you know what I mean? Just get out of just stop listening.
Wait, what? Sure.
Just back off. Do you know what I mean?
You think it's a bit much? It's a bit intrusive?
I just
They're
think I want to be shrouded in mystery.
Like what? Like kind of in a kind of a we could put a veil on you for the show.
I think
do you know
just
what I mean? Like put you in a
a
little bit of under a curtain maybe.
I want there to be something that is not available to them. I want them to wonder. There's no wonder. They're not wondering. They're not going, oh, I wonder what he's really like. This is it.
No. You're a much crueler character off camera. There is still quite a bit of mystery with you. I'll let them in on it, but, you know.
But don't let them in. Out.
No. I understand what you're saying, that you're kind of like, you know, like, so John
I'm frustrated with the modern scaffolding of art.
Right, yeah.
We have to give too much.
Yeah,
they're creeps, perverts.
Look, they're voyeurs and they're sex criminals. I know that. We all know that. But at the same time, speaking of which, anyway, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you at the break. I'm not going to show it to you now. I'm going to show it to you at the break
Did somebody send you tits?
No, there's an email sent to me, but it was just fucking mental. I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it to you at the break.
Great. Okay.
But it's someone, it's someone wanting to work on the podcast, but the way it was sent is
he's like, I'll do anything.
I got to show it to you.
I think I got the same email.
We can do it on the Patreon.
Okay,
we'll do it on the Patreon.
Okay.
But mother of
fun.
sweet Lord divine, things have gotten a bit hairy now, obviously, because I've just had someone made a fake account of me.
Oh, you're a famous man
on Instagram,
and that's because they know too much.
I don't know if they know too much, but
was it convincing fake?
Absolutely not. There was like the message that I sent out to people was just to my beautiful fans, and then like
everyone went, this isn't Mike.
No, a lot of people wrote to me and they were like, no, because obviously I would have said like to my stupid fucking pedos, so people didn't believe it, but it's a little bit scary. You're like, all right, you know what I mean? You've got the evil workings of the internet.
Identity theft is no joke.
Well, people are just working in the shadows and lurking about in the background against you. And then in my head it was like
nefarious characters.
Well, it's the Russians or McGregor. You know,
it's one or the other.
It's one or the other. I don't think we've spoke about.
No, I was debating like flying into London to do an emergency podcast.
Yeah, and I know. And the problem is when this gets out, it's a few weeks now ahead again. So
we could maybe drop this early as all fuck.
We could absolutely.
We could put this out as an emergency pod, depending on what Cumlong's up to.
Yes, get Cumlong on the job. That fucker. Where is he now? Lying on a beach somewhere, getting his fucking arse tickled by a crab. But anyway, so McGregor, for those of you who didn't see online,
he called Mike a very rude and inaccurate word.
Well, look, I think to be fair, I've never felt more seen, and he couldn't have meant it that way. But
what did he call you again?
Retarded and inbred.
No, one of those isn't right.
Huh?
No, at least one of those isn't
Which
right,
one?
but not two.
Because I think he may have just split the atom with old Mike there and just bullseye.
Cut to the core of you. Is that why it hurt so much? Because it was so damn accurate.
It was very accurate, and also kind of, it was funny, like it, like that. It's not something that it hurt my feelings. Now, what happened was McGregor has seen the clip.
He must have.
Of course he has.
No, but we're assuming this. Background for the people who aren't on the internet.
Yeah.
But are somehow listening to or watching the podcast.
To the woodsmen, to the clog makers that
to
are living.
Oliver Anthony.
Yes.
Listening in the woods, playing his little guitar.
That's right.
We had the wonderful Jacob Hawley was on the podcast, and he told a very funny story.
Yes.
About allegedly Conor McGregor allegedly acting like Conor McGregor.
That's right.
And there was a little bit of worry of like, Dragon McGregor might see this, and a few people were like, yeah, he looks at everything he's ever tagged in.
Yeah,
he's a psycho. And people started tagging him in the comments, and I was like,
spaghetti-o.
But nothing under that. Under that. Some McGregor fan boys and girls and women being like, how dare you talk about this as a slander, that man has a family, that man has a blah 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 blah.
If he got his hands on you, he'd beat you up. And I'm like, yeah, he's a professional fighter, like.
Yeah, I'd probably beat him in a roast battle.
Possibly not. He's good at that. He's quite good at that. To be fair,
yeah.
Although he's kind of cooked the goose now in the last 2 years. He's made scrambled eggs at the head. But anyway, hence he's just at home being like retarded and inbred.
We should do a live stream of us watching Roadhouse on the Patreon.
Lad, I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen it? We'll come back to that. We'll loop back to that. Okay, so the story is, so that goes out, and then Michael puts out one of his hilarious, clickable stand-up comedy clips from his special.
Now, so here's just a bit of context. In the clip, the McGregor clip that we put out and ended up going viral, I think it's 1 million views on Insta and more on other platforms.
Light work, baby.
Yeah, noise. But anyway, so Jacob is the one who tells the story, tells it hilariously, it's great. But at the start of the clip, which I don't know why it was left in the edit,
because it's funny.
There's a part where he's like, I have this McGregor story, and I goes, yeah, tell it. I hate him.
It's funny.
But there's no need to leave that in.
It was the perfect rule of threes in the clip.
That put me in danger.
I said allegedly, Jacob said allegedly, and you said, I hate him, tell it.
But I think you put me in the line of fire leaving that in, saying I hate a violent psychopath on the internet, right? So anyway...
no, don't be talking about him like he's not listening to this right now.
Well, he could be listening to it, but like, let's call a spade a spade. The man is devoid of what seems like kindness, gentleness, or humility at this point in his career.
You're doing great.
All right, you're doing great. You were my hero for several years. I had a swipe at you because of all the evil
rapes.
things that's been purported you've done, allegedly.
Because of all the rapes.
No, well, allegedly now. Now here's the problem. Take it easy there now, champ. You've gone and see, this is the thing. If the same thing had happened to Angelone, it's happened to me, I believe you'd be dead right now, because I think you would have went so far with it.
I would have led so far in
that they would have been like.
But here's the beauty of it:
finding different parts of your body all over North Dublin.
If I get punched by McGregor, I'm a millionaire.
But here's the thing:
you think he's killing people,
lad? All I'll say is this: if you're looking at someone who's, let's just say, been accused of the things he's been accused of, allegedly,
rape,
right, and other such things, where do you think the moral line stops with someone like that? Do you think especially if you've got 200 million in the bank, do you know how much it is to get someone killed? 10 grand.
What? Where have you pulled that from?
Huh?
Where have you pulled that from?
My mind. I've decided. No, I read it. It was in Charlotte's Web.
You can either go to uni for a year and a bit or have someone killed.
You can get someone killed for 10 grand.
Do you think so?
You absolutely can.
If you are tasked with, right, you have to get someone killed, and let's say it's not McGregor, because McGregor's probably more than 10 grand because he's a public figure and he's got security and he's also a scary man.
He can afford to pay like 50 or 100 to get it, like, to be a perfect job, to make it look like I had a heart attack out of really bad shit that killed me. That killed me coming out. I died in shit birth. Do you know what I mean? He has the means to get that done.
Is that true? Elvis was the first ever man to die in childbirth?
Yeah. Well, die in shit birth. He died birthing a shit. It was very sad. And the shit grew up fatherless. An orphan.
Like many other brown babies before it.
Oh, noise clip, 8 million views. There we go. Wow.
No, Elvis is going to come for me.
That's right.
But say, like, let's say you have somebody who's just a member of the public that you want to kill. Do you want to kill? What's the first phone call you make? Who you emailing? What's happening?
You go into that. You're going straight to the dark web.
See, I've never been there.
I've never been there either, but I hear it's a place where you can get any evil kind of job done.
You can get drugs to your door for free.
You can get cyanide, you can get poisons, you can get Navalny killed, you can do whatever.
You know, so like there's all loads of pedo stuff there.
There's plenty of pedo stuff there. The pedos it's fucking Disneyland for pedos, the dark web. And sure, look, judge not lest you be judged, but. That's what it says in the Bible. I'm quoting Jesus. Don't be frowning at me. The man was without sin. No, who? Cheesy crazy.
Jesus must have been a pedophile.
Nah, lad, come on.
Mary Magdalene couldn't have been older than 6.
What?
And they were riding, were they?
Him and the mag.
I think that's the story. That's the tale.
Him and the mad mag.
Tale as old as time.
No. Sure, Magdalene was now whore. You know, she was
Yeah,
turning.
that doesn't preclude her from being 6.
Huh?
That doesn't preclude her from being 6.
Well, I think it does, because you're not going to have the business acumen and the wherewithal. You know, even in society back then, 2,000 years ago, a 6-year-old, if they are orphaned, they're still going to be like taken care of by some kind of institution. You know, I'm not going to just go along with Mary Magdalene was 6. Because that's we're besmirching Jeezy's name for no reason. Now, we hung around with prostitutes, but also
and rappers.
Some rappers, yeah.
They had leprosy.
Huh?
They had leprosy.
Leprosy. This is leprosy. Okay. All right.
They're lepers.
Leprosy
is the only thing you have where there's like a name for it. Like you know, if you have cancer, you're not a cancer. You know what I mean? But if you have leprosy, you are a leper.
A leper, yeah. It was by all accounts, it was one of the nastier diseases. Do you know what I mean? Your ear be falling off your teeth.
We've said some bold things on this podcast over the months and year that we've been doing it.
Yes.
Leprosy is one of the bad diseases. I think it's up there.
Yeah, well, isn't it that you're kind of your eyeballs would be kind of coming out your nose and your ear would be start talking, and it was just all your whole face and body would be falling
I think it
apart.
was like fingers falling off and things such as like
was
that.
there?
Yeah.
And what about your cock? Would that be safe now in the whole world?
I
with
don't
leprosy?
think your cock is safe from leprosy, but
Right.
also you probably
It's
wouldn't
not
be
immune.
you wouldn't be that annoyed.
Would it get a pardon though because it's your cock?
No, I don't. But I don't think you'd be that
presidential
annoyed. I
pardon.
don't think you're getting much. You're doing much riding.
As a leper.
As a leper, and if you were, she'd be like, leave it in, and then you walk away, and she'd be like, I didn't mean that,
Right.
because your dick's just in her, and you're not anymore.
As in, he actually leaves his cock in her. It falls off in her. I mean, that is pretty funny when he pulls out and he's just like, oh. He just has to like try fish it out. Give me that. You're not keeping that.
You're gonna plunger.
Yeah. Oh, Christ above.
So you're thinking dark web. If you need to get someone killed, you're going on the dark web.
Well, yeah, you're going on the dark web for
I think the funny thing about being from Northern Ireland is that, like,
there's just a fella, John.
There is, like, if I rang my uncle and went, look, I'm in pretty dire straits here, I need somebody killed, he'd be like, give me 20 minutes. And
Right.
would have me a phone number of a man who could sort it out.
Yeah, and I mean, that's
just true of everybody. And I'm like middle class, nowhere near, and like grew up outside of the Troubles, all that fucking shit.
soft as butter.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I still, like, 2 phone calls, I think.
Yeah.
And I like a man who has killed.
And that's one of the big advantages of the Troubles is that there are working assassins in the north, and it's something you can get done if needed. And people talk about all the negative sides of the Troubles, and they don't talk about the murder economy that's booming up there, and that can help people get out of sticky situations.
See, the assassinship degree at Queen's University is one of the best in the world.
I'd love it. Do you know what I'd like now? I'd like someone, if I had an enemy to get killed, I'd like them to be killed with a bow and arrow. Do you know what I mean? I'd like an old style. Like, I don't want to do something like poison their soup and heart attack. I would like middle of public, middle of the day, Finsbury Park train station, bow and arrow through the midriff.
Midriff, I was going to ask where you want the bow and arrow to hit them.
Just like that. But then as they stop with the... So one gets up and they're like, oh, and then suddenly this shoulder, that shoulder.
Boromir.
Right, yeah, and they're just getting like, Legolas kind of style. You're getting lit up in quite an artistic way. And then just as they're dying, I come in and just being like, never leave a negative comment on my video. Right? I just slap them and then I just walk off.
I've got a real fear of bows and arrows because when we did it, when I was in the Scouts as a young boy, they were talking about how an arrow shot from a bow can go through a bulletproof vest and straight out the other side.
Yeah.
Because arrows and bullets are different.
And this is what I'm telling you. I want someone who's aware that I have a murderous urge towards them not to be able to protect themselves with a bulletproof vest. Or I'd like them to be wearing it.
They'd have to be in shining armour.
Yeah, you can't shoot me. I'm in my bulletproof vest. And then guess what? We're going medieval, bitch, and light them up with a fucking bow and arrow. Sick!
What do you think the next, like, because obviously war and armed battles have changed so much over the past maybe 300 years. 300 years ago, there was still... Am I mad in thinking that? 300 years ago was still bows and arrows?
Gunpowder would have been kind of...
1800s?
Prevalent. No, 1800s, you wouldn't really have had many bows and arrows. Now, you would in certain places, like the Native Americans.
No, that's what I mean. 1800s would have been the gunpowdery times when it was starting to become all the rage.
Well, the gunpowdery time would have actually come in, I believe, in the 1700s. But you still would have had a fair amount of horses and swords and other little bits and pieces where you could kind of cut the nipples off of someone.
25 minutes to reload the gun.
Yeah, it was a bit of a fucking... It was a bit of... Yeah, it was a rigmarole.
Give us a fucking second.
Yeah, but there was a bit of pomp and ceremony to it. There was kind of smoke and mirrors and plumes and plunges, and there was a bit of
I'd say it'd be quite mindful reloading a gun in the middle of a battlefield.
Absolutely, because it's the same thing. It's like fire in the belly, ice in the mind. If you can keep a calm head when everyone around you is fucking trying to eat the curtains, then you shall prevail.
Yes.
They're cleaning your gun, and it's it must have been one of the most serene experiences that was available to humankind, was cleaning a gun during deafening battle. But see, back then they would have said, now obviously, boom, like every bomb just boom. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, I feel one with nature, one with everything. And then just a sword comes up through the back of your arse. Oh, fuck!
Not again.
But so back then they would have said that there was a little bit of a kind of a valiancy. Now, I don't know if that's a word, but I'm talking about valiant in a kind of a verb.
Probably valiance, I think.
Valiance. There's valiance, there's a nobility to war. You would go out and you'd die for your country. Valor, but like kind of a dignity and honor to it, where you were on a horse and you had a sword and this is from Marjorie, and you went out and you might get an old slight a knock in the stomach, and then you're dying there and you're like, give this note to my beautiful Marjorie and tell her if I could I would be on top of her tonight, giving her the old 1-2 and then the old in and out, and then it dies, but a bit of honour to it. And you're on your horses, you're with your friends, it's a bit of a laugh, you're cleaning your guns and there's smoke and plumes and you're wearing big stupid black hats and it's all a bit of crack. But then of course
when you die at war you are just dust.
Yeah, you're just out.
Bang, your bet's in the desert.
That's right. Your little note to Marjorie is just as fucking blown up as you are.
Yeah, you'd have to have
There's no notes to Marjorie.
You'd have to have it on a Kindle or something.
That's right, yeah. Or, it's saved in a folder in your email. And then, yeah. So, but then World War I, they say, just turned the whole fucking war affair into just...
So was World War I the first, like, guns on guns on guns?
Well, it was the first, like, highly... mechanized, like to a point where
post-industrial revolution,
right,
global warfare.
That's right, whereby the scale at which you could kill people was
the planes,
just insane.
Boats,
that's right, and no one
submarines.
No one was really ready for it. So even like the French in World War I, the big stupid French fuckers that they are, they come out and they're like horses and their little uniforms and hats and stuff, and just got absolutely fucking mowed. Just suck their bleed.
So they were just still going in with swords, and it was like
they were going out with sashes, and they were, doing their little Champs-Élysées, singing their little songs and having their garlic and onions, and then the Germans just made fucking porridge of the cunts. Absolutely, lad. Scary shit. But back to McGregor.
God, if you had a sword and you were just presented with like rows of men with guns, But they probably didn't know what guns were, maybe, or they probably like.
They would have heard of them.
They would have heard of guns at that point. No.
They would, yeah.
But all that stuff. But it just seems so. Are we getting to the point where like guns are like wars are just going to be robots on the front line? Because all it is to the government, that like all the people are. Sorry, we will get back to McGregor. But all the people are on the front lines. It's just like a number. It's just like a paycheck. It's just a fucking financial loss. So like governments would care just as little or as much if it was just robots fighting those wars, drones on drones. Because then they're like, oh, that drone cost a lot of money.
It'd be just like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And then what would get two massive nerds running the country, and both of them just there with a load of pimples on their face, covered in cum, just being like, eh.
But apparently that is espionage now.
Yeah.
All of like MI6 and MI5. I never know what's the difference.
I haven't a fucking clue, but I know one of them fucking Judi Dench is fucking running the show.
Yeah, but apparently like most of them now is just like cyber warfare and preventing cyber terrorism and all this stuff.
It's just fucking cum-riddled nerds.
Yeah, they're just playing fucking Minesweeper against each other.
Absolutely. World of Warcraft, little wizard hats on them, just being like, you know. It's sad to think that these people are now, you know, instead of having the big strong men, which I'd like, you know, big strong dumb agricultural men like me being the winning or losing of a war. Now it's the little spotty nerds who have the fucking world by the balls. You know?
It would be quite good to just like do like an action film where all this kind of cyber espionage is going on, and then just like one guy, all you need to find out is like the one code to that door to that little IT office, and you open it up and it's just like 13 nerds like running the world. They're like destroying everything, and you just punch them all in the arm. You don't even have to kill them.
No dead arms. Oh no! I won't be able to work for quite some time. I would like to be brought to hospital, please. Owie! Oh, can I get a Capri Sun, please?
Okay, I'll stop changing the election results. I'll stop.
You're a bully. You're a bully, mister.
Well, gee, mister.
Yeah, man. Do you know what I often thought, and I often think about is that, do you know, it's hard, and it would be hard, because obviously war is all predicated on having a few old fucking cake-filled fat cats sending, you know, ripe young men out to get fucking mowed down.
Yeah.
And how anyone agrees to it is obviously the story that you're going to be telling, right? And, you know, be able to tell a good enough story about nationality and this and that. And look, if you die for your country, guess what? You're going straight to paradise, brother, heaven. Now, problem is, and listen, if I believed in heaven properly, if I die, I'm going to fucking paradise. I'm going to be sitting up on Jeezy Creasy's lap on MDMA, smiling from ear to ear, tingling with happiness. Sure, then listen, I'd be the first one on the front line. I'd have a fucking little, bullseye put on my fucking forehead. Be like, send me to the fucking happy place,
yes,
brother.
If that was kind of a guaranteed entry.
But if you fully believed in that, right?
But I've met people who are like, I'm excited to die so I can go to heaven.
Yeah.
And you're like, and the only reason they don't kill themselves is because that means you don't go to heaven.
That's exactly right.
That's how they get you.
But this is the thing. So I'm thinking now, like, imagine trying to get any of us fucking godless cunts.
This is the thing, they're like, people aren't signing up to the military, and it's like, yeah, because we have Twitter and YouTube, and we can see what happens to people who join the military, and it's not the good.
That's right. Because back then,
if you thought the opening 20 minutes of Saving Private Ryan pales in comparison to a quick scroll on my Twitter algorithm.
Right.
Just death and destruction and some tits as well.
Woo! You gotta have your fun too, brother. It can't be all work and no play. It makes Vito a dull little boy.
Just people actually dying, just in little videos on my phone constantly. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh,
it is mad. Just death, murder, blood, guts. So I wonder how the mental health of everyone has gone into the fucking toilet. I did think this recently, and I think this is a huge. I think the loss of heaven as an option puts way too much pressure, because all of us, like, we're just godless, you know, filthy godless creeps, and no one really in our generation, right, believes that they're going to go to a fucking afterlife. Now, there are a few people who believe it, and they get put in special schools, but so generally people don't believe it, right? That puts a lot of pressure on this life.
It's really scary, isn't it?
Way too much pressure. Because before, if you were my dad or my granny, you were like, you're just getting through this misery.
You do a decent job. You do a decent job and you get the lunch and it's okay.
And the more you suffer, the better. Because God sees you and you go, I'm suffering, but I'm still being sound. Look how good I'm being.
Yeah.
Don't forget to let me into heaven and shove fucking clouds up my arse and feel like a pretty little girl, you know? And you had that.
But now anytime you go, well, what's the point of all this? You just go, nothing. And you're just sat there like, but it is quite hard, isn't it? And you're like, yeah, it is hard.
And what do you get at the end? Fucking jack shit. The void, dust, nout. Fucking, you're just fucking little pieces of fucking fertilizer on the grass.
This podcast is a good metaphor for godless existence.
Ah, yeah.
You know, they listen to the whole public episode and they go, God, the Patreon's got to be better than this. And then they sign up to the Patreon. And then... but yeah, waiting for Potto.
Hey, that was right there. Waiting for Potto. Sick, clip it.
But yeah, they listen the whole way through the public episode going, oh, this isn't great. I feel like I'm kind of struggling through this. I'll sign up to the Patreon. I'm sure that'll be better. Worse.
But so what I'm saying is, if there's this, and I think this is also like why even right now there's this much like emphasis on like, I have autism, I have OCD, I have all these little problems, I better get them fixed, I better get a medication because this is my only life and I better live it to the fullest. Oh shit, why am I? Look at them guys, they're living it to the fullest. This is my one life and it's ruined and nobody loves me, and it's this fucking panic, right? Whereas back in the day, you had any of these little fucking ailments, you just go, sure, I'm a bit fucked, but listen, paradise awaits me. Let's just get on with it.
Crack on.
Yeah, crack on.
I'm quite a good, and I know you have a go at me for saying all sorts of whatever, but I'm a proponent of cracking on and not really. I'm not.
No,
you know?
You're what we call a plodder in the business.
I'm plodding.
You're plodding away.
I'm plodding along. I'm plotting. I'm plotting. I'm platting.
You're platting. You're plateauing, career-wise. No, you're not. It'd be great if you were. It's just one steep ascent, but soon the air pressure will get too high, the altitude, and you'll have a nervous breakdown, and then all will be right. All
will be right in the world when I eventually crumble. I'm trying to prevent my inevitable crumble at the minute. I'm trying to be much more mindful and get off my phone. Holy fuck, is that the summit
Crippling.
Of all? Oh my god!
What do you know? What it is? It's a as people say of comparison, a thief of joy.
Yeah.
People say comparison, thief of joy. I've already mentioned this. Just compare yourself to homeless people. It'll be a giver of joy. Just stop. This is what people don't do. Compare yourself to people that are doing shit. Like, yes, it's a thief of joy if you compare yourself to The Rock.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't be comparing yourself to The Rock.
Stand in front.
Compare yourself to the hard place.
That's right. Stand in front of a homeless person. Breathe in the comparison. I'm doing so much better. Now give them some fucking money for this, right? Say, here's £5. Let me just look at you for a while.
Don't be giving them money.
Give them as much as they
want.
want.
They're bad bastards and they deserve everything they've got.
Do you know what's...
Take that money, put it in the bank, sign up to the Patreon.
I tell you what's... No, give it to the homeless people.
We keep losing sponsors. Please sign up to the Patreon.
Yeah, but listen, we're not corporate pigs.
Exactly. We're communists.
We're pirate
we need
radio.
the support of the people.
That's right.
We're communist dictators.
We're Lenin and Trotsky over here.
What are you doing? Why are you undressing?
I don't know. You caught me there. I have no answer to that. But I was going to open one of my buttons. And I can't really explain why. But some part of me felt like, let's just make this a little bit racier.
But I'm just trying to go back to the past. I'm trying to start my day in silence. This is my big thing at the minute.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay.
So I get up, teeth, shower, make the bed, have breakfast without a screen, without a noise in the world.
Yes.
And then I pop the radio on. That's the first thing. And then we don't go onto the phone yet. Just staying away from the phone as much as possible. I stayed off my phone for like 2 whole days over the Easter weekend in memory of Jesus.
Yeah.
And it was so good.
Right.
It was so good.
Because I feel like because the phone obviously is your ally and you certainly are someone who's melded with technology, and some people would point to you as maybe an early example of half man, half robot. But I feel like if you stayed away from your phone for like 3 days in a row, you'd be like a beautiful mind. You know what I mean? Like, I think you'd be like just so...
Noticing the patterns in people's ties.
That's right.
putting babies in the bath. It's too hot.
Yeah, or you could be bending metal and stuff.
Isn't it great that that's a film I've seen?
Which?
Beautiful Mind.
Oh, lad. I didn't even give you credit for that.
Because we had to watch it in school for psychology.
Really?
We were learning about schizophrenia.
Well, surely you were digging that.
Oh, it's a good film. I love Robin Williams.
Is Russell Crowe in that one?
Oh, yeah.
Robin Williams doesn't come next to her near Beautiful Mind.
He would have done a good job in that, though.
He would have been great.
It is Russell Crowe. Fuck.
Yeah.
But I do separately like Robin Williams films. But yeah, Russell Crowe. Beautiful Mind is great, and then a bit fucking wow for like 20 minutes in the middle.
Well, it gets a bit scary. He's having a complete mental breakdown.
Yeah.
And sure, it's just, you know what I mean, like.
And then they all give him a pen at the end.
Aye. Yeah,
and that's nice.
That's nice. He has just about 50 pens and just walks out with a load of pens. It's quite a sad ending, really.
Man has schizophrenic breakdown, loses everything. Probably one of the smartest mathematicians of his time, but it all goes slightly wrong because he fucked his mind with mind soup, and then he doesn't really know what's going on. Thinks he's working for the CIA. It's all chaos. He's hallucinating. He nearly kills his baby. His wife doesn't know what to do. It's all terrible. But he got some pens in there.
He got enough pens to start a little pen shop at the end. The end is him just running a small, humble little pen shop as a pen salesman.
Buy them online, penisland.com.
Yeah.
Do you ever get done by the penisland.com?
No.
Do you know Pen Island?
No.
You know, I've been on the website penisland.com.
Mm-mm.
Get it up on your phone.
Okay.
Do it now.
Right now?
Yep.
When I put my phone
on penisland.com.
Pen Island. Okay. My phone, I turned my phone off, so it's going to be too much of a rigmarole.
Well, turn it back.
You want me to turn it back on?
Yeah.
You want this is where I have issue with you and your complete lack of regard for the listener or the viewer.
It's going to be great.
Why is it going to be great?
Penisland.com is great.
Am I going to... Because the only thing that could happen here is if I Google this and then just Sydney Sweeney's tits and I'm like, oh, sound. But what am I going to see?
I would never speak about Sydney Sweeney like that.
I know, yeah, you don't. You're fucking anti-tits. You're anti-horny. You're an asexual
I
tyrant.
am anti-horn. I don't think it's good. I think people need to... Less horn.
Well,
although being off the phone makes more horn. I will say that much.
Yeah.
Now, penisland.com.
Right. Penisland.com. Okay. Now, while I'm looking up penisland.com, why don't you say something good?
Why don't I say
sitting there like
good?
a fucking turnip and creating dead
Sitting like
air.
a turnip? I'd love to sit like a turnip. How would a turnip sit? Quite upright, I think. I've slouched too much to be a turnip.
Yeah, turnip would have good posture. Well, it has just whatever. It's this. Site has naked pics of women you may know. Do you wish to proceed? Are you serious?
Penisland.com. It spells penisland.
Right.
You're on penisland.com.
You're some fucking arsehole. You're some piece of shit. That's such a little juvenile prank. That's like doing the boobs thing with your calculator. Look how happy you are with that now. You absolute child. He's such a child. You know he likes Robin Williams. He likes that film Patch Adams where he's a fucking clown.
I like Patch Adams.
I know you like Patch Adams. Of course you do.
Why would you not like Patch Adams?
You're Citizen Kane.
It's got that guy in it who's also in The Big Lebowski. What's his name?
John Turturro.
Is that him? The guy
who plays the pedo.
Works hard.
Huh?
The guy who works hard.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
That's Brandt, who's like, well, dude, this is our concern, dude.
Yes.
And he sits there with the old Big
and he
Lebowski.
works much harder than Patch Adams at the books, but he's not as good of a doctor.
Yes. And R.I.P. Philip Seymour Hoffman. The heroin got to him, but sure, listen, he gave us some good films before.
Loved you in Hunger Games.
Oh, I tell you, there's a great Philly Hoff movie called Synecdoche, New York.
What?
Synecdoche, New York.
Synecdoche, New York.
Written by Charlie Kaufman, directed by Charlie Kaufman. The man's a genius. Did I understand the film? No, but it made me feel things in my gut and heart.
That's good. I like films like that where you go, I don't really know what happened, but I'm feeling things.
But I'm fucking feeling things and you're getting to the core of humanity.
And did you get that from Roadhouse? Was that a similar feeling to Synecdoche, New York?
Oh, now you're podcasting. There we go. That was a lovely little wrap around.
We should stop announcing when we've done a good segue, I think.
Well, you keep doing it to me, so I'm going to do it to you. Because every time I do it, you point it out to me, or you go, nice segue, you know.
Well, I would do that if it was a bad segue.
No, it wasn't a bad segue. And yours was a good one, but listen, I could have let it go. From now on, we're letting it go.
We are not celebrating any of our segues anymore.
No.
It's indulgent podcasting, and we are mystical artists.
Yes, it's a waste of your time, and it's pissing in the face of Joe Rogan, our great father.
It'll only be solid gold Penn Island Googling from now on.
Now, Roadhouse. Let me tell you about this film. Roadhouse.
It's a remake, and I haven't seen the original. Have you seen the original?
No, I haven't seen the original. Cult classic with Patrick Swayze, sexy little man who was killing it in the late 80s, early 90s. He had Dirty Dancing. He had fucking Point Break. He had, sexiest man going. He moved his hips. Everybody came. Ghost he was in, where they go, oh my love,
no, my darling, I hunger for your touch.
Sick.
Are you still mine? I need your love.
I need your love. I need your love.
Okay, you're making it up now.
Okay, so anyway, I went too far on that one. I screwed the pooch. Listen, sorry lads. Both of us, I think, deep down believe we're great singers.
We are. We're great boys.
Fucking, we're good lads.
From now on, the live pods are just going to be an actual concert where we sing the full album of the Blues Brothers.
Yeah. I'd be up for that. Now, Roadhouse. This movie, I would say, has, a similar IQ to Forrest Gump. It's a dumb movie, but I really liked it. It's stupid, but Jake Gyllenhaal's in great fucking shape. I love Jakey Gills.
He can get into some shape now. He's done that before for that boxing movie.
Yeah, Southpaw got him into fucking, lifting the heavy things and bending over and getting back up again and making your body look.
Because he was quite like a skinny, nerdy, but like maybe unconventionally attractive boy in things such as The Day After Tomorrow.
Donnie Darko.
And Donnie Darko.
Right.
Both weird. Well, no, Day After Tomorrow is just great.
Yeah.
Great kind of disaster film, all that stuff. But Donnie Darko,
cult classic.
Strange.
Great film.
Strange.
Incredible film. So he also had a problematic relationship with Taylor Swift, which he immortalized in a song.
Sure, it wouldn't be like her.
Yeah, slagging him off.
Would she ever give over?
Yeah.
Write a song about yourself for once.
Yeah, or about like climate change or something.
Here's something. None of Taylor Swift's songs pass the Bechdel test.
What's that about?
You know the Bechdel test.
It's about you.
It's to be two women talking, having a conversation for a minute that isn't about a man.
Right.
All of Taylor Swift's songs are about men.
Yeah.
Which isn't good feminism.
It's gossip. It's trickery and gossip.
Maybe write songs about how women are good, not about how men are bad.
Yeah.
What about that? Have you considered that, Taylor?
That's right.
I assume all giant celebrities now listen to the podcast because Conor McGregor commented once on your video.
Absolutely.
I assume all A-listers listen to this podcast.
Taylor's listen, and let me tell you, change your ways. Your songs are fucking mindless gossip. It's basically salon talk.
Stop flying across zebra crossings.
Yeah. Have a bit of fucking decency.
That's not far enough to fly.
Yeah.
You silly bitch.
You silly little tart. Cut the tart thing. People are going to be accusing me of misogyny again. Apple tart, you're sweet as apple pie.
Who accused you of misogyny last time?
I don't know. Just when we were the Kyle Walker clip where I was like, where I called someone
and this is part of the fucking problem with this, like the erosion of the walls between us and these fucking freaks over there.
Hey, angels. These angels.
Freaks.
These
freaks. The problem is we think we're supposed to know what millions of people think about us.
Right.
And we're not supposed to know that.
No.
I shouldn't be able to see the comment section of things that I make. You should just put it out. Oh, done.
Listen, boy. This internet, this algorithm, this what made you. This what made you a millionaire. And now you're turning your back on the people, the comments, the likes, the shares. Come on, boy.
But I want to go back to when it was like I want to be someone like John Lennon, where you're making beautiful stuff. You make beautiful stuff. You hit your wife, but to be fair, she's annoying.
You slag off Paul McCartney in songs.
No, so you make beautiful, mad, gorgeous stuff, and you hit your wife a bit, and you hang out with Paul McCartney for a long time, and then you only find out what the public think about you when they kill you.
Yes,
that's what I want.
When it's too late.
I want to live in the past.
That's all right.
I want to hit my wife and own slaves.
That's okay. We can bring you to Papua New Guinea. You can be a fucking cannibal. There's places in the world where you can live in the past. We can drop you in the Amazon forest where they believe that taking a picture steals your soul. You can fucking make a little fucking wood hut and be some sort of a big-headed white god to these people. We'll sort it out.
Speaking of white god, I know you've been getting into wrestling recently.
Oh!
Have you seen the Ugandan Wrestling Federation?
No.
I mean, crazy that fair. I don't know why I thought you would have, but I've only seen little clips recently. But they briefly introduced like a heel type character in the Ugandan Wrestling Federation called White Lord.
White Lord.
And he's the only white guy in the Ugandan Wrestling Federation. He comes in as this character, and apparently there was some technicality when Uganda got independence from, I think, the UK. Or from the white man broadly, anyway, from the British Empire. And there was the storyline within the wrestling world is that he in the contract when they got their independence, the whole country was independent apart from the Ugandan Wrestling Federation. So this white lord guy technically owned the wrestling federation, and they had him as a character for a week and then killed him.
I killed him dead.
Killed them off.
Oh, like they actually, like in real life, he's no longer alive.
No, not in real life, but in the storyline of wrestling, they had him for a week, being like, "I own all of you," and then now he's just dead.
Yeah, I mean, like that is it's great fun. Because they used to do very racial storylines.
Oh, I was going to say that's what I think is lacking from the WWE is race baiting.
Oh no, they used to do it like back in the like 90s. They used to have like a little kind of black trooper wrestlers called the Nation of Domination, and they would come out and the white man is trying to keep us down, and then like Stone Cold would be coming out and like, why don't you shut your fucking mouth, motherfucker?
And all the wrestling fans are like, yeah.
All the fans are like, woo! This is the best show I've ever seen. Get them. So they did, and then like people like The Rock and different wrestlers like Bret Hart and people were like saying because they're decent human beings. They're like, hey, we don't like this racial shit. It's not cool. Because Vince McMahon, the guy who ran the WWF till recently, till he shit on that girl's head, and which
struck down in his prime.
A prank gone wrong.
You can't say anything anymore.
Nah, you can't. You can't even shit in an employee's head without there being a whole hoopla. But anyway, yeah. There we go.
The woke brigade strikes again.
Yeah. So, but he was just he was a great businessman, and his whole modus operandi was just giving people what they wanted and creating these kind of scandalous. Like one of his storylines that he was involved in writing was his daughter Stephanie getting raped in WWF, and then he came out and he's like, Triple H, you are a rapist, and like the crowd are like, yeah, it's insane if you look back at the Attitude Era. Oh, it's wild. And he wanted to create a storyline, an incest storyline where she becomes pregnant from his baby, and she was just like, no, we're not doing that. He's like, okay.
It's not being heavily implied in the story that we've fucked, Dad.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. He's like, okay, fine. He just went and shit on someone's head. He has to get out of his system somehow.
That's so chaos. I think the Attitude Era was really, it feels like it was cocaine fueled.
Well, there were wild times. Like the pro wrestlers of like, particularly like the 80s, 90s, they lived lives that were just some of the most crazy lives that have ever been lived. They were on the road for about 260 days a year.
Yeah,
their bodies are in fucking shambles because it is fake, but they are getting thrown off of fucking roofs. Yeah. Most of these wrestlers die in their 40s. Like their fucking life span is incredibly short. Their life expectancy is incredibly short. They're all fucking hopped up on steroids. Some of them are losing their minds. Chris Benoit, fucking crippler, cross-faced, his whole family,
Crippler, cross-faced?
That was his closing move.
Oh, right. But he did kill his whole family, didn't he, Chris Benoit?
He did. He bowled as a pig, killed a whole lot of them.
And then himself?
And then he killed himself. Then he crippler cross-faced himself in what seemed an impossible move. No, I think he might have took the gun to himself after that, the same old Chris. But a wild place.
Was that CTE, or did he just like lose his mind? Because there's the whole thing of CTE where you get like voices in your head.
They would have suffered a rotten amount of concussions, a lot of them. That's why The Rock did a great thing in that he like came in. He was in the WWE really only for 5-6 years. Absolutely fucking smashed it, and then was like, right, I'm getting out with the old brain cells intact.
Yeah, and now he's back in again. And he, I saw a little clip of him shouting at Vince McMahon, "Fuck your storyline."
Yeah.
And people are saying they were worried The Rock was just going to be phoning it in when he came back, but he's not anymore. Well, so he's doing a great job.
What The Rock's trying to do right now, which people may not know, and if you're not interested, he's kind of trying to bring the Attitude Era back. 1997 to 2002 was the fucking height of professional wrestling, as seen by a lot of people. Now, after 2002, the company went public. There was a lot of shareholders. They made it more PG, all these things, and it lost that red hot level. Like when I was growing up, right? My cousin would give me like a Walls of Jericho every day. That wrestling move where he cripples your back.
Yeah.
You're getting Stone Cold Stunner everywhere, rock bottomed. We would all go around in primary school doing the people's eyebrow, The Rock, like that. Like, it infiltrated culture globally.
I remember in primary school,
much. It was incredible.
People doing FUs to each other. We're like, up over the shoulders like that.
Yeah.
I don't know whose move the FU was.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you just made that up, like the fuck you.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Well, that could have been one, but it was more so the big staples would have been like the People's Elbow, which was The Rock, the most electrifying move in sports entertainment.
Tombstone.
The Tombstone, Stone Cold Stunner, the Pedigree, Triple H, fucking the Walls of Jericho.
People would do that with the water in Gaelic training. They would do this Triple H.
Yeah. Yeah, the game. Yeah. The Cerebral Assassin King. There's no smarter ringmaster than Triple H, King. Is that The Rock? Oh my God, King, it's The Rock. Like the announcers, JR and King, were on, like they couldn't believe anything that ever happened.
Yeah, because they're the ones pumping the energy into the thing quite a lot of the time.
They're the hype, and they're just like, Stone Cold is a bad man, King. You do not anger Stone Cold because this man has no remorse and no care or love for mankind. And then just like Stone, it's all. But the level, and the crowd,
everyone's just committing.
But the crowd,
but even the crowd are committing to it.
Yes.
I think it's great.
The crowd at that time, it was like fever pitch when people would come out. If The Rock came out, you wouldn't even be able to hear his entrance music because people were just, ah! Yeah. And like before he'd come out, like so when Stone Cold came out, you'd hear a smash of the glass.
Yeah.
And the crowd would know he's coming and everyone just, ah!
And the Undertaker was at the bell, wasn't it?
Yeah. The bell. And then The Rock was just, do you smell? And then just people going on. It was so sick. But anyway, very quickly back to Roadhouse.
Yes, you were watching Roadhouse.
So Roadhouse.
And what's McGregor's shit in it? But shit to like a funny degree.
I think McGregor does great in the movie. My opinion. Have you seen Roadhouse?
No, I'm going to have to watch it, but you're gonna have to watch not what I've seen from the clips.
No, listen.
Where the fuck is everybody?
Yeah. Where the fuck is everyone? And he looks around like, you know what I mean? Metal. And at one stage, he like, what? And to me, I was watching it with a friend of mine who were both big movie fans and we were looking forward to it. But like that, we loved it because we can just laugh at it while we're watching it.
Yeah.
Like, it is funny. Like, McGregor's character, every time he goes anywhere, he just crashes his car. So, like, if he just wants to go to a bar, he'll just drive his car straight into a tree close to the car, then get out with a wreck car. But it's so funny. At one stage, he just drives this big car straight into the bar, gets out, and he just goes, wrong side of the road. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. Like, his character is one of the most feral, brain-damaged characters that's ever been seen on screen.
So is it just a bit of a farce? It was a bit of a fun movie. Do you think it's supposed to be just a farcy fun movie?
Of course. Yeah. It's just an absolute, like, just bing, bang, bosh. You know what I mean? Just Jason Statham mixed with Michael Bay.
Just a romp.
Boop, boop, boop. Absolutely. But I thought McGregor played this role of a just fucking lunatic really well.
Listen, it's a hop, skip and a jump away from his day-to-day life, really, but
100%. This was not a big stretch for the man. You know what I mean?
He didn't transform in front of your very eyes.
No, he was just a fucking, a frothing lunatic. I thought he did it well. I thought he genuinely came across as unhinged and frightening. So I watched that movie on the Saturday.
And how much is he in it? Is it like a cameo to sell some tickets, or is he just in it loads?
He comes in about the halfway mark, and then he's like the second main character, right? In the movie. And
on the call sheet, so Gyllenhaal number 1.
Yeah.
McGregor 2?
Yes, I would say McGregor 2.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. I would say McGregor 2 as the second, because he is the like, say like in James Bond, there's James Bond, and then the big villain is like Jaws. Like, McGregor is the Jaws of this movie. He is the only guy that can match Gyllenhaal's fucking fighting skills. You know what I mean? Like, that's his match in the movie. Like, they're fucking knocking the solid snot out of each other. I thought the fight scenes were good. Like, obviously, like, if people were looking for like emotional depth or fucking, you know, like a believable romance or anything like that, you're in the wrong fucking place. Don't watch Roadhouse, you donkey, right? But so I watched that movie, and then the next day I wake up and turn on my Instagram, and there's a notification.
You watched the movie before the comment?
That's absolutely right. The next day I wake up with a comment on my post that says, and I'm literally like waking up like this, and it just says, retarded and inbred. I see a blue tick beside the name, Notorious MMA. I was like, no, it can't be. Now, in my head, I had been a little worried for a while he would see the clip of us slagging him off. And I do find him quite a frightening character, because I do believe there is not many things he won't do. He seems...
Well, given that he's on a press tour for a giant movie and he's still watching, like, searching through Instagram for your videos.
That's right. So he writes retarded and inbred. My initial reaction, I looked up and it's him, and the initial pictures on his Instagram are of him as the character in the movie. Yeah. And at that point, I was not
You still had the image of him as scary man who drives car into bar.
Just this lunatic.
You were worried his car was going to come flying into your bedroom.
Genuinely. And just wrong side of the road. Right? So most of the movie is him just with a golf club just going, you know what I mean? And it's great fun. It's fun just to see him in interviews with like Gyllenhaal, who is
Oh, mate. The one where he's
fucking... Asher, listen.
He can't be long for this earth.
He's poisoned himself something fierce, but I feel like if he is going to die soon, he's going to take me out with him and just kind of wear my fucking face around, like, or something, like a puppet. Like, part of me, when I saw the comment, I was like, oh, I was genuinely filled with fear. I was like, oh, he's coming to get me now. No, genuinely. I was like, he's coming to get me. I'm done. There's nothing he won't stop at. He's going to fucking parade me around. Parade my body around like a fucking Mexican cartel. I'll be fucking, you know, hanging from some fucking lamppost with my severed cock in my mouth. It's going to be a whole ordeal. And then slowly, as the day went on, I kind of came to some sort of senses of like...
Well, you sent it into our group for the podcast, and I was like, share it.
Yeah, you were like, shared, and I was
shared
like...
right now.
I was like, I'm genuinely frightened.
And I was like, shut up.
Right. But my thing in my head was...
What's he going to do?
My thing is like, we post our address where we're going to be every night.
Yes, comedians like...
Right. So you know where to get me all the time.
Yeah.
So in my head, he's going to send a load of goons to my show in Dublin, a load of heavies to come down and boo me. And say I'm not funny.
You're worried about booze, are you?
Not really booze, but I'm just like...
You're worried about violence, is the truth of it.
Do
you not agree that if he punches you in the face, best thing that ever happened to you?
Yeah, but if one of the fucking, you know, the Kinahans or whoever else he could be, you know, in cahoots with, fucking, you know, cuts my cock off, you know, he can pay people enough money to have it not be connected to him. That was my fear, right? So if anything bad happens to me in the next while, you know... Now, you could say to yourself, but it seems like there's bad things happen to you all the time because you're an idiot. Yes, but if anything bad happens, it was him.
It was McGregor.
He did it.
Yeah.
Right?
Next time your books fall out of your bag or your clothes fall out of your bag, it was McGregor who unzipped it.
That's right. Or I forget my, you know, everything, everywhere, all the time. It was McGregor.
Was that Asian film?
I forgot everything everywhere all the time. Yeah, lads. But then I just did. You helped me make a little post with the
the screenshot tweet on a really funny picture of you going
like that, which was great. And you know, you're a ninja in these situations, and so
you just gotta have fun with it, baby.
And as soon as I did that, I was like, "Oh right, yeah." And it took a bit of a load off. I will put it as a quote on my Edinburgh poster.
Gotta be,
yeah.
Gotta be.
And I just think, really, at the end of the day, you know, and I'm just quoting here the retarded and inbred. I do think, you know what I mean. Like, he wasn't way off the mark.
He might have meant it as a compliment, I think.
Yeah. Maybe he was saying, we're not so different, you and I.
I just, like, what kind of like, what state was he in? What room in his house is he in? What room in a hotel is he in?
He's taking a shit.
I think he's got to be like coked up at a party and there's just like shit going on around him and he's just like scrolling through and he remembers that clip. It pops up on his whatever because he's like watched every single video we've posted since then.
Yeah.
And he just goes in and goes, "Retarded bread."
Yeah.
And it's just fucking drinking and doing coke and all. Like what? Like how? Like we're busy. We like are sometimes struggle to make time to do this podcast and like we have to work hard to like adjust our schedules and put things in the diary and blah 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 blah. But he's got to be busier than that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Well, like he's supposedly nearly a billionaire,
right?
From his like whiskey company and but is he just not involved in any of that? Does he just like hire people to do all? He just has a business manager who just fucks him basically. But there's enough money coming in that it doesn't matter.
I think so. Like I think he has been enough of a great businessman, like through his early years that now he can kind of the wheels are in motion with enough things
and
that
there's enough leeway that he can fuck things up, but it's still fine. And
that's
he can
right.
Just
and I think that maybe he's, hung over a lot. There, he's, maybe taking roids. He's on the Charlie, hoovering it up like a Dyson, and that leads to taking a lot of shit. So there's a lot of shits happening where he's just sweating, he's agitated, he's on the shitter, he has to fill some time, and he's fluting through the internet, and he's finding looking at our little smug heads. Because he really gave himself
away, where it was like. It wasn't the clip that we were talking about him in where people had tagged him in the comments.
Right.
It was just a separate clip, which obviously means, because he's not like he followed either of us. He just is like checking in on us.
Yeah.
Like is very exciting.
It's frightening, I would say.
I'm excited to be checked in on. I might invite him to one of the shows.
I mean, I think, like, honestly, that what annoyed him with our clip was me saying I hate him. I think the rest of it, he might have thought, yeah.
Well, somebody said to me that he won't mind English people slagging him off, but he will get upset.
I said that to you.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that it would have really got to him
that it was an Irish person said they hated him.
Will come out and say they hated him. And I kind of feel bad about saying I hate him. Because hate's a strong... Do you know what I mean? I just don't want to be putting that negativity out there towards anyone that I don't know. Right?
Mike.
Well, you've not said it.
I hate him.
Oh, come on. He not Aldo, remember?
But this is the thing. Like, I think that's why he would hate it so much if an Irish person said that about him, because he was the hero of a country.
He was the hero. He was my hero.
I fucking loved all that shit. We would stay up at uni and watch all the fights and all this shit. And then just gradually it just got really, really sour and you go, fuck.
Well, he
lost the run of himself entirely.
He bet Eddie Alvarez, 2-time champion. That's 2016. Mind you, that's 8 years ago. That's the last time he was king. And he started being king in like 2013. So he only had 3 years where he was fucking absolutely slaughtering it, but did so in such a meteoric, imagination capturing way on a global scale that he is still 8 years later a massive star.
Yeah.
And the thing is, after that, he did the Mayweather fight, got paid $100 million, and that was it. And that's the end. Because before the 100 mil, he was talking about being an animal of movement. I move and I study my opponents. And he was Mystic Mac.
And it was about the thing. It was about the fighting.
But he was obsessed.
Yeah.
Like he knew every move. What they will do is they will overstretch. I will come in. I have studied their every move. I know their weaknesses. I know them better than they know them. And he was predicting what was going. He was so in the zone. It was so inspiring. He was so involved with the craft. His work ethic was unbelievable. His confidence, he was so sharp on the mic. Everything was just fucking cooking beautiful. It was, his confidence was un-Irish. It was like truly being inspiring in that way where you don't have to be like, sure, I'm kind of shite. He was like, no, I will be the champion. Then he's like 60 G's, Dana. Like, it was fucking amazing. And it gave Irish people some of the best nights ever. And then the 100 mil comes in, suddenly something turns, and he's not preparing the same way. He's not obsessed with sports the same way. That drive isn't there.
And the stories keep coming out from fucking parties. You can see his fucking mad. He's just walking out of like council estates in Dublin in the morning, just like
shagging people's wives, his car being parked outside someone's wife's house. Like just story after story after story. He's on the gear, this, that, and the other. Then you see in the lead up to the Khabib fight, which should be the greatest fight of his career. You just see him. He's not sharp on the mic anymore. He's nasty. He's like, your dad smells like shit. Like it's like. To this guy,
he's boozing and he's got this whiskey. It all becomes about the brand and the blah 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 blah.
And you know, as Khabib would say, you know, because people say, "Oh, fame changes people," and then Khabib's line on it was, "No, fame allows people to act the way they want to act because now they, you know, as opposed to it. Now, power does corrupt, but like, do you know what I mean? There's plenty of famous fighters who maintained, you know,
humility and
you know, But it is a huge amount of money, fame, like that level of fame that he got to that quick. I mean, that is an intoxicant that could fucking drive you haywire and has done.
Just got to have good people bringing you down weekly on a podcast.
Wow! By the way, right, we're just finished the pub. I have a load to talk about in the Patreon.
Yeah, me too. When
I was in Paris.
There was Dublin together, and we didn't really talk about it. We did Vicar Street.
We did Vicar Street together. We got you at the dairy incident.
Yeah. It's been happening quite a lot
we'll get
recently.
into that. So we will nice and
juicy.
having
walkouts on the tour. Anyway,
I'm on tour right now.
Have you started the tour?
Well, I'm starting the tour tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the start of the tour.
So no, but when this episode is coming out,
you'll be on tour
we might put
already.
This episode out this Thursday, will we? Just to have it be a fucking, because the other two.
Let's see if we can do that. We'll double check and see if we can make that happen.
That would be nice. But so coming up, listen up there, fellas. Coming up on the tour. So Manchester will have been out by now. We'd released 20 extra tickets. I think there's like 5 left, so that'll probably be gone. Glasgow, that's sold out. Edinburgh, the 11th of April, 12th of April. There's still tickets left for both those shows. On the Thursday, the 11th, not many tickets. The Friday, there's some tickets. Glasgow on the 13th of April, the third show we added. There's still some tickets left for that. Newcastle, we've still got some tickets left on the 14th. Birmingham, sold out. London, sold out. Southampton, 24th.
I think you're in Newcastle the day before me.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. We can get a quiche together, and we can
have a little quiche.
Quiche and a gossip.
Quiche each other.
Little quiche each other. So Aberdeen on the 30th. Come there. Liverpool the 28th. There's still some tickets. Southampton 24th. Nottingham 1st of May. Come on, baby. Buy me some tickets. Bristol, the second show we added. There's still some tickets left. Then Oma, ye dirty dogs, you buy some fucking tickets for that fucking.
Don't talk to me about Oma.
Belfast, we've added a second show on Monday, the 20th of May, because the first one sold out. Derry, you silly little devils. 19th of May, come to the show. What's wrong with you?
They have a Nintendo Wii in the green room. It's class.
In where?
The Nerve Centre.
Nerve Centre, sick. Then Cork, we've added a second show on Friday, the 31st of May. Come to that show. First show sold out. Please, Clonakilty, get the fucking tickets. Second show in Whelan's, that's just about sold out, lads. Tuesday, 28th of May. Get tickets for that. Galway, Limerick, everybody check my fucking... Oh, London, we just added a second show in London. Ye dirty dogs. This was coming a long time. Wednesday, the 22nd of May. This is a smaller venue, so get those tickets quick for the London one. All right.
I have, in terms of the tour, the UK and Ireland tour, pretty much only tickets left for Dublin and Belfast. The extra shows, that'd be cool if you could come along to that. Check in with the venues on the day for returns if you are struggling. And I've put together a European tour in mainland Europe. Isn't that very exciting? Nice. And I really struggled with the admin of the whole thing, so I'm going to tell you what I hope is going to be on sale by the time this podcast comes out, but might not be, because I might have pissed off the venues too much by not replying in time. So what is hopefully going to be on sale, I'll tell you what is actually on sale. Zurich is definitely on sale. These are all in the middle of May, so they're coming up soon. So get tickets, because I have not. I've maybe fucked it. Zurich, Rotterdam also on sale. Amsterdam hopefully on sale if I haven't pissed off the venue. And then we go. Paris, Rome, Brussels, Barcelona. Those are the other places that I'm going to. I hope you can come along. I would really like it. This is my first experience of going to mainland Europe and trying to tour, and I don't know how the fuck it's going to go. So if you could tell your friends that live out there, that would be fucking great, and I would appreciate it. Cool. Thank you.
It's going to go great.
Sign up to the Patreon, patreon.com/parenting because why? We keep losing sponsors.
Fuck them. Corporate pigs. No time for
We
them.
need you. We don't need brands.
No, what's that Abraham Lincoln poster about, like, serve your country?
Suck your mama's cock.
Suck your mama's cock. As Abraham Lincoln famously said. And that's why he got assassinated. It was rude. All right, lads.
Your mama's cock needs you.
Your mama's cock needs you.
Ask not what the podcast can do for you. Ask what you can do for the podcast.
Hurrah!
And if you don't sign up,
yeah,
I'll send Conor McGregor Mike's address.
Yes.